When you find yourself in a safe space, ask yourself, what is it you can't face? That was flat. Setting the scene again, this is just another little thing that women have to do. Dara has never experienced laser hair removal. I would imagine in your sort of like queer community, hair is probably more accepted.
Not at all.
No.
I have been actually dreaming about laser hair removal for, I reckon, the better part of 6 years. And I would go to sleep, and if I just needed something else to calm me and to put me in a happy place, I would think about not having hair on the inside of my thighs. I would really just
and
find
you've
so
been
much
shaving
joy.
up until now?
I've been shaving and waxing and all that kind of jazz. And I've just convinced myself that it was all just a bit too much drama and then too expensive, or I don't know what excuse I'd made up for myself, but I just hadn't got it done until we were in the office and you and our other little sidekick, every other woman was saying how much it just revolutionised.
It's changed our lives. To be able to lift your arm up with confidence, knowing that you don't have a full bush underneath your armpit, and indeed, obviously, the bikini line, it's just incredible. It really has been amazing. And the most fun I've had recently was when I had to explain to Dara what you need to do to prepare to have laser on your top lip. Most women I know have had this done, so let's not freak out. Everyone's got some, and the wonderful part about this process is for the first time in your life, you have to go against nature.
Everything.
You have to go against everything you've ever been taught and everything you believe in and shave your own moustache. And as you stroke down, you're thinking, is this...
What am I doing?
Is this the point of no return where I, in fact... design my own full-grown Tom Selleck moustache? What the fuck am I doing? Shaving my own beard. Because you don't have faith in the power of laser. And the most wonderful, wonderful news was when Dara then called me the next day and she said, the laser on my top lip was great. They weren't able to do the section under my bottom lip because I had a mark on my lip.
We can call it a cold sore.
We'll call it a cold sore. Trying to protect you. Which means that for the foreseeable future, she will be sporting a goatee. Now, this became so bad that her partner asked her if she was transitioning.
I was just having a bit of a kissing session after several weeks of not seeing this particular wonderful human, and she said she kind of caught the stubble.
Beard.
She caught the stubble on the bottom of my lip and stopped mid-kiss and was like, babe.
Well done. Go you. You do you, Dara.
She was like, what's going on here? She was really concerned. And I was like, before I could even explain what had happened.
It's a laser situation. They can't laser near a cold sore. I shaved my beard. Now I'm fucked.
She looked at me dead in the eye and was like, are you transitioning? Followed by, it's okay if you are.
Yeah, I'm here for you. I love you. So gender fluid. Whoever you are is great with me.
Whoever you are, Dara is okay.
You grow that beard.
Like, no, fuck no.
But it's a goatee. I mean, I think it would be less funny if it was like a full beard. I think the funniest part is that you are growing the most embarrassing of beards, which is a pointy Billy Goat's gruff.
And now I don't know what to do because I'm about, 2 weeks in or something of having the laser, and so I've got the little stubble element going. You can't see it from here.
No.
I don't imagine, but don't get too close. But do I keep shaving? This is the thing. Do I keep shaving in between now and another 2 weeks' time?
You know, technically you should keep shaving because the thicker and darker the hair, the better the laser picks it up. But by God, what a risk. What a risk.
Should I shave or should I grow? Should I shave or should I grow? Should I shave or should I grow now? Should I shave or should I grow now? If I grow there will be trouble, and if I shave there will be stubble. So come on and let me know. Should I shave or should I grow?
What is it you can't?
So you have been harassing me for, I don't know, the better part of several months to edit the podcast.
Fucking hell.
But
yes.
yeah, right. But I have a fucking life, right? So perhaps maybe going to Byron on a whim is much more entertaining than sitting in front of my laptop listening to you and I editing.
So weekend planned is Dara committing to doing the editing, and then I go, great, you got everything? Yep, definitely. Lockdown. Oh, we're going to do so much. It's going to be so great. And then I just get an image of her hammered in Byron Bay, to which I respond, I presume your homework is done. The answer, of course, is no, which is why we started this 4.5 years ago. And whenever we goddamn publish it, will be a goddamn miracle.
Yeah, all of this will be completely irrelevant by the time we actually hit go.
Absolutely.
I did do some work last night. Actually, I did about 5.5 hours worth of editing.
I'd say I'm proud, but now I want to say it's goddamn overdue. Yeah, you did do 5.5 hours.
Something else in all that is that I have some impending fame coming up.
Yes.
I'm already a little bit famous, but I'm about to be a little bit more famous.
Sorry, as the bearded lady in the travelling circus.
Don't look me up and down when you say that.
I'm trying to locate your Billy Goat's gruff. I can't, for the record, I can't see it. I can't see it. It can only be felt.
Meanwhile, your face hasn't moved an inch while you're making
I was just going to say. Dara was telling me like a serious story over the Mexican we just had, and in my mind I was responding and I thought, I wonder if she can tell that I'm concerned because my face is not moving. So I made a conscious effort to frown more and create like sympathetic face.
Yeah. I got it in the tone of your voice. You have to kind of modulate your voice in order to feel more concerned.
I have to give more in the voice when I've just had the Botox. Yes, so true. Oh, that's classic. I thought I was thinking that on my own.
Yeah. No, you can totally see. Transparent. Anyway. So I'm about to become a little bit more famous because of this boy band documentary that I'm in, and you have requested that perhaps in all the media tours, the upcoming media events that I am participating in when the question is asked, and what are you doing now, Dara? Post the launch of this incredible documentary, I say, well, I have launched an amazing podcast called Rah Rah Rah. Yeah. Right? The issue that I have is that in the arena of boy bands, that boy bandism is quite wholesome. Okay, it's quite wholesome. That's the whole thing about boy bands. It's
Robbie Williams.
It's yes, but prior to that, it appeals to your face did not move when you said that. Nick Carter. But the whole premise of boy bands is that they're very safe. And I've imagined myself in a media junket, as you will, uttering the words, you can't face. And
I see your conundrum.
Yes, and not being completely comfortable in that particular environment with the history and the future of boy band isms on the line for me to actually say that.
But if they said, Dara, international boy band consultant, what are you doing at the moment? You say, I'm working on an amazing expressive podcast called What Is It You Can't Face? People go, really interesting. I presume you're broaching subjects that are really difficult for the listeners to understand. You don't need to answer, no, I mean, what is it you cunt face? Meeting adjourned. Yeah. You're going to go forward.
But inevitably someone is going to pick it up.
Oh, what do you do now? International boy band consultant. What are you up to now? And you go, I'm learning to cook paleo. Like, what is the more exciting of the two? And if you think that I will not grab onto your coattails and fly this ride, you've got another thing coming.
Well, look, this is what I want to pitch to you. As I was editing our amazing...
She uses this as a safe space because we're recording, so I can't say what I really think or express it because my face is not moving.
Yes. And I've definitely not prepared you for this conversation. I have it on my notes, of which strategically turned upside down.
Oh my God, you are unbelievable.
This.
Okay, what is happening? And I don't want to waste the Botox by creating extra creases, so speak.
Are you literally...
I'm holding my crow's feet down so I don't get any extra tension.
Is that a thing? Okay, look. Hours of editing. I have realised what our genius is, and our genius is, which we've known this before, which is how incredibly different we are in personality and sexuality and outlook and whatever, but we have a common ground of entertainment, coming from quite a wealthy upbringing, and it's about how two people from two different sides of the tracks come together and just like create amazing comedy.
Yeah.
So I want to pitch to you a name change. This is where this is going.
Oh, fine. You'll still be promoting me in all of your events. Not a problem.
Oh, yeah. This isn't me cutting you out of the deal, out of the media junket. This is me potentially rebranding this situation.
Yeah, something without the word cunt in it.
That's right. That's basically it.
Oh, yes.
So I just allowed my subconscious to figure that out last night, and I have already pre-prepared some artwork.
Okay.
It's just temporary. It's basically I've photoshopped our faces onto the head, onto the bodies of Hamish and Andy.
Okay.
Just for some context, just so you can actually see what it would look like.
Pressure's on. Please make me laugh, for God's sake.
We'll never know. It has to come through your cake hole in order for us to figure it out. Ready? I'm going to show it to you. I think that our new podcast should be called...
I fucking hate it.
Whatever I said, whatever I did, I didn't mean it. We'll go back to you can't face.
You can't face.
We'll go back to you can't face. Whenever I'm wrong, we'll put it in a song and then sing it. Just as long as it's still you can't face.
You can't face. You can't face.
Yes, we'll call it you can't face. What is it you can't?
I don't know if any of you guys have heard about this. Certainly my mother's group hasn't.
You go to a mother's group?
Well, I just mean the representation of women that I meet, you know, at a Westfield or a basketball game. We've never heard of the word Mooncup. When Dara explained to me what this is, I was horrified. Explain to the listeners.
Okay, first of all, we need to take a step back, and I forget that you don't speak Woo. You're not fluent in the language of Woo.
No.
Whereas I've had 7 years of training in Woo.
Yeah.
So this whole Mooncup, higher consciousness, connected with your yoni, we'd never call the period a period. We say we're bleeding.
You do not say we are bleeding.
Of course we do.
Excuse me. How are you? I'd like to tell you I'm bleeding.
Do you know?
That is
it's so natural
the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Even the word period for me is so jarring.
I mean, you don't often at our age go, hi guys, got my period,
No,
you know, but
no.
maybe like if I was really emotional and I suddenly went, oh my God, you know, I'm really sorry. You
Yeah.
know, like I've had a few moments at work where I've just lost my shit and then been reminded, hormonal. Yeah, but I would never
I'm
go,
bleeding.
I'll tell you exactly what's happening. I'm currently bleeding.
That's so stupid. Well, it's going to start there because you have to have the idea of the colloquial I'm bleeding.
Yeah,
at
okay.
moon cycles.
Right.
Okay, so what it is, it's
It's a diaphragm that's deeper.
yeah, exactly. Imagine like a funnel so that basically you can put it up inside you and it's kind of funnel shaped so that you have something to pull on to get it out.
Yeah.
And the idea is that it creates a vacuum from within inside the vagina so that all of the God, what do we call it?
Menstruation.
Fluid is captured in this particular cup and you empty it a number of times a day.
And it's obviously presumably a healthier, non-toxic option to tampons.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to use a pad.
Yeah.
But I guess the Mooncup is also healthier. I don't know.
Well, it comes from the point of view is you don't need any other items. You just need this Mooncup. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. You don't need to buy anything else. It's like a $40, $50 investment.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, you use that all the time, do you? That's not refreshed. I'd say anything that goes inside you probably needs to come out and not re-enter.
Yeah, okay. So I was disturbed about this. So I bought one when I was living in Byron, bleeding and, mooning.
Yeah,
moon
bleeding in
cycling.
Byron.
That's right. Bought one and was so horrified of what was in the cup the first time, I couldn't go back. I was just full on. It was too much. It was way too much.
Yes.
It's full on. Right. So gave it away. I didn't give Mooncup away. I just gave away the practice. Yeah. So then
practice.
Yeah.
For God's sake.
Recently been hanging out with a new lover who uses a Mooncup and who's convinced me of its fantastical elements. And I'm like, okay, well, she's a long-term user. And I was like, I need to know some questions. Okay. Number one question is, how do you clean it, right? You want to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Syphilitic. And how do you...
Mum would be a bucket with some Dettol.
Yeah, exactly. But how do you clean it in a public toilet situation, okay? So just say you've got to go and empty it.
How do you know it is full?
Well, it's a time thing. You don't want to leave it in there for longer than 12 hours.
So it's a guessing game.
It's a guessing game. That's right. You shouldn't leak, but if you don't want to leave them there for too long.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah.
Okay. So just say you're at the Westfield and you're like, time to empty my Mooncup.
Yeah.
And basically you pull it out and honestly, it's just everywhere, right?
Yes, it's a bucket of blood.
It's pretty full on. And in order to then put it back in, you need to wash it. So I've always been like, what the fuck happens in a Westfield situation? Because surely you're not going to go to the loo, then wander from the cubicle to the...
Wash it
with a bloody hand.
Yeah.
And then wash it with the Mooncup in the thing. Like, the horror on
I don't know
face
if you can tell. My face is horrified.
Anyway, so this lover of mine was like, okay, no, what you do is you always go to the loo with a bottle of water. That's the tactic.
So now you need a funnel and a bottle of water.
Yeah. So you basically empty it out and then you basically with the bottle of water. Do your dishes in the loo of the Westfield. Hope to God your hands are clean and then put it back up. And honestly, you gotta...
You silly, silly people.
It's pretty full on to get it in there too. It's not an easy application.
Please tell me you've got to put one leg up on the wall.
There's a lot of work, really a lot of work that goes into it. Anyway.
And then you got to like tug on it to make sure it's secure.
Oh, anyway, I got intense intimate training because I was from the lover because I was like, well, this isn't going to be on the back of the packet. I want to know these real questions. How do you actually look after it? So I decided to give it a go. I was like, bought the thing, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So anyway, this one morning, the last cycle
of the winter solstice,
I had an early meeting and. It was like, I got up really quickly and showered really quickly and kind of shoved it in whatever and ran out the door. So halfway through my meeting, I'm like, oh, fuck, it just doesn't feel quite right. Like it doesn't feel like it's quite lodged in the right spot. So, but lucky for me, I've already clocked that the bathrooms have an internal sink. Mm-hmm. So I know that if from a danger zone perspective, I can pull this thing out and I can wash it in the contained location. So I excuse myself, go to the loo, lock the door, and sure enough, it was quite it was unhinged. It was unhinged. It wasn't in the right position. If you can imagine, I'm on the loo, and then basically the sink is just like a hand away. So I still have my kind of pants down because I'm like, oh, I need to just wash this thing. So basically, go to with both of my hands. I put the Mooncup underneath the actual sink thing, and I pull on the tap. Unbeknownst to me, this is a fucking power tap. Right? So this is like a high pressure hose. So this thing comes on, and if you can imagine the highest pressure hose you have ever had going into a Mooncup full of residual of whatever was inside of me and comes straight in and straight out and went onto the mirror and onto the door and onto the wall.
What you've created is a murder scene.
It was an absolute fucking crime
scene. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was like, I actually had to wipe my own blood off the four walls of your cubicle because I'm too frightened to wear a pad like a fucking normal person.
Oh my God, it was full
on. My God.
And I still got my pants down at this point, and I'm like, fuck, well, I'm going to deal with this before I deal with that. So
that's wonderful. That is wonderful.
Put it back in, and then basically had to cover the entire cubicle in water, like had to just basically
literally had to scrub the walls.
Yeah, cup underneath the sink and just splash water everywhere. So
I couldn't think of a more syphilitic example of why my mother would advise every one of you not to use a public bathroom. Because you never know when the next hippie bastard is going to
rinse their Mooncup.
Pour a cup full of blood around the walls and you accidentally lean on one to take a deep breath.
Oh, God.
Oh, Dara, that's revolting.
It's just the worst morning. And then I have to return to this quite important business meeting, and I've just left a crime scene in the bathroom. I actually did open the bathroom door, and there was a young girl and her father waiting to come in to use the loo, and I was like, oh, you just stick your head down, just keep walking. It looked like I'd basically gotten like 5 litres of it looked like I'd gotten like 5 water bottles and just exploded them all.
So the walls were dripping with water.
Water, yeah, not blood.
That would have been in their minds. I can imagine them thinking, that is the oddest thing I've ever, because they would never think in a million years. The lunacy.
My Mooncup.
Yeah, no, they
exploded.
would think you've been in there for ages.
Yeah.
But we can't quite connect why she would have needed to clean the walls.
Oh, it wasn't right.
Mooncup, live it up by Mooncup. Do it up by Mooncup. Live it up by do. Yeah, yeah, Mooncup. Live it up by Mooncup. Do it up by Mooncup. Live it up by do. Yeah, yeah. 3, 4. Mooncup.
Yeah, nailed it. Totally. I always wanted to be in a Hanson tribute band.
What is it you come?
This podcast is created, performed, edited and sung by Sarah and Dara because we are quadruple threats. Next week, we have our first famous guest. We'll be grilling him on what makes him the favourite child and which restaurant his parents take him to when he's done something amazing on television. We are now live across the internet, cunt faces, so wherever you listen to podcasts, subscribe and then bloody rate us. If you don't know how to do that, head to our Facebook page by searching What Is It You Cunt Face and then download the PDF guide called A Stern Guide on How to Rate Us so that we can be number 1 like the stars that we already are. Stalk us on Instagram at You Can't Face and we'll see you for the next episode. Just a little footnote, Sarah wanted to add the line, till it all fills up, on the Mooncup song. And I was like, I love Hanson. Like, I really like Taylor Hanson and me. We're basically the same person. And I can just about destroy the Mbop song with Mooncup, but if I add the actual visual reference of till it all fills up, I will be destroyed forever. So I vetoed that.
And to our friends of the radio audience, we bid a pleasant good night.